Hi folks, and welcome to my 8.1 Mistweaver Monk PvP guide. Wow, such a big title. Few of you guys shall already know me, but for those who don't, I'm introducing myself. I am Speedy, Speeder, Speedahx, whatever you wanna call me, but just call me. I am known for being a Spanish streamer who mains Mistweaver Monk since Pandaria, but I've been playing Warcraft since early Burning Crusade. And well, a lot of friends are asking me some tips, some help, some advices for this healer class, which is Mistweaver Monk, due to the fact that I'm having good results in my ranked games this season. So I'm gonna harness this experience that I got in this season to try to help you guys, and well, I guess and I hope to be useful for you and not being so harassing for your ears. So enough talking and let's begin. By the way guys, I apologize for my broken English. I swear that I'm working hard to improve it, but if you don't mind, let's begin with this guide. So let me begin by doing and saying some advices for those Mistweavers out there who aren't really into the class, and for those who are just curious and want to know the basics of the class. So let's start with the basics of the Mistweaver Monk. Before we get any further, we need to know which points are making Mistweaver Monk a really good healer in PvP in this patch. The first thing we gotta highlight is that it has a really good healing output, which is mostly on burst healing. It has short healing cities, which make him a very aggressive playstyle healer. It has high mobility and high utility, with its 2 rolls, teleport, ring of peace, sprint if you spec on it. It has everything, it's really good. It has a good hit of CC, counting with leg sweep, which is a 3 second stun in AoE, and the sub 5 seconds, 4 seconds, every 45 seconds, yeah. And then it has a ring of peace if you spec on it, which is a game breaker if you learn how to master it, and it can provide really good damage with its baseline damage kit, but it can be really increased while Crane faces. In the other hand, it has few weaknesses that makes him a little bit tricky to play. Let's highlight some of them. His healing is based on channel healing, which makes him especially kickable or vulnerable to kicks or silence, and it can be frustrating for new healers to fake with a channeling cast. Its mana costs are really high, and if you can't manage it very well, you will run out of mana really quick. It is really squishy and vulnerable to hard switches, meaning that you can die in every 5 second stun if you don't pre-brew, if you don't pre-ring, or if you don't have peel from your mates. It's, I'd say that the most squishy healer in the game. The gameplay is really stressful for new healers, due that you need a lot of planification for those windows where somebody can switch on you, or you can go aggressive, whatever. But it's really challenging. And of course people will blame you in 8.1 because everybody says that Mistweaver Monk is really overpowered. So yeah, haters gonna hate. Now that we pointed the strengths and weakness of Mistweaver Monk, we gotta say or highlight some common mistakes that people do when they play Mistweaver Monk for the first time. You guys come and tell me, yo Speedy, why do I run out of mana so fast? Or why my healing output is not as great as it should be? Well, the problem roots is on the not knowing your numbers or your kit. As Mistweaver Monk, you have few heals in your base kit without counting any CD. These skills are the channeling cast, which is your base ability, your hot, which increases your BfA, and it can be really good if you spec on counter magic. And then you have BfA, Surge of Mists, and the brown hot, which is evolving mist. A lot of people are healing like in PvE. Let's pretend that we're in PvE. This talent is not existing, okay? So you will not have it. In PvE, you heal by using your hot, you casting, and then putting the brown hot, and then using PvP. And then your healing output is, let's say, decent. But as well, your mana flops really fast. If we look at numbers of healing, we look at PvP and we look at Surge of Mists. And we'll check that Surge of Mists healing is so high in comparison with the PvP, and the mana cost is fairly half. So this means that in PvP we shouldn't care about casting PvP, and instead we should cast Surge of Mists. That's where you see a lot of monks having the half global heal and topping people like in 1 second or 2. Before we're getting any further about Crane combos and how to burst with Crane, we need to know which abilities do we need to press before Crane, which are Thunder Focus T and Mana T. Mana T is a talent that reduces your every ability cost by 50%, meaning that the Way of the Crane would be 12.5k of mana, which is like a 12.5% of mana, really good. And this talent that increases the amount of abilities powered by your Thunder Focus T from 1 to 2, and making your Rising Sun Kick having 2 stacks of 2 seconds cooldown each, providing you a really good burst momentum in your Way of the Crane. This leads me to the second point of common mistakes, is that how to properly crane. Well, as Before Monk, you have 3 abilities in your damage kit, which is Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, and Rising Sun Kick. We're not counting with the Lightning because it's just for the knockbacks and range damage, which it's not really important here in this point. So, when we have Crane, our damage is increased by 35%, and 200% of the damage that we deal, it splits and heals to 3 targets. It's a really high healing output that we make. But also, the main reason behind Crane is the damage, because you want to help your DPSs to finish off one guy, or just to apply some pressure. So, all we need to do before going and burst with our Way of the Crane is stack up 3 Tiger Palms with our Monastery Tips or whatever it's called in English, and once we have them, we can really go and push. And what we're gonna do is pop our Mana T, pop our TFT, pop Crane, and do the combo. I'll do it really fast and I'll explain it while the video is going on. So you pop it, and you go. And there you have it. That's how to properly burst with Crane. But hey, Speedy, what the fuck did you did in that combo? Tell me, like, I couldn't see what you did. Well, explaining you. If you watch the video slowly, you will see that I stacked up 3 Monastery stacks. Then I went with TFT up, and with Mana T and Crane. Then I went in with the 14 seconds window I have after this. So I used it, the 3 kicks I have available, because it has like a lot of damage output, and then I started to use Rising Sun Kick into Tiger Palm and build 1 stack. Rising Sun Kick, build 1 Tiger Palm. Rising Sun Kick, and now it takes 9 seconds cooldown. The 3rd Tiger Palm, so I got 3 stacks, and risk it with another Blackout Kick. And I got unlucky and I didn't proc another Rising Sun Kick, but like most of the times you will have a 4th Rising Sun Kick in your rotation, leading you to the gap of 1 free global on Crane after all. But if you do the math and you practice that, you will have it. I also forgot to mention that that free global that you have at the end can be used in the half of the way or the first to pop a leg sweep, or use a sap, or use a Ring of Peace. So this is not bad at all. There are several ways on using Way of the Crane. I am not saying that using it in other way or with other combo is less profitable, but this is one of the most optimal ways to use your crane and do good damage and burst. So it will be something like that. Never lucky, man. Never lucky. Another thing that it's going to happen because you play Mistweaver Monk is that the enemy will go and switch on you very often. That's why you really need to get good at reading your enemy intentions, and that's why you need to know what to do in every moment. There are moments where you can, just beware of them, just get away from your teleport, and when you see they're coming, just teleport out and get rid of the pressure. But there are moments that you can't really do this because imagine that there is a rogue who's gonna just shadow step kidney you or something, and you will not have time even to get out of the kidney shot. That's why the fate is in the hands of your teammates or in your brain if you predicted it. Once you are, let's say, decent at predicting, there are two things that you can do to counter some mechanics, such as shadow step kidney shot. First one is to ring of peace in your feet. If you ring of peace in your feet before they go and shadow step kidney you, you will, let's say, be likely to survive to a RMP switch easily. But if you don't rely on your ring of peace, or you just wanna be able to survive for quite longer, I recommend you to use your brew. When you use your brew, it's important from you to have the heal trinket. So in every arena, in 100% of the arenas, you will be running with this trinket in your gear, and you will macro it with your brew. Imagine if I have 154k HP, look how much it raises when I macro it. Boom. It gives me a lot of HP, and also they durate the same, and also they boost my healing T, making it a free cast global-less that can be used, whenever you have the stacks and you are not kicked. So you can predict with your Ring of Peace or with your brew, and you can also go and pop a pre-cocoon. But I gotta tell you that if you pre-cocoon yourself, even though it's 55 seconds cooldown, you will be, let's say, fucked up if they want to trade anything else after. Because, Mistweaver Monk is all about trading CDs, after all. That's why you really need to get good and read your opponent's minds. Another thing that you gotta know, as I mentioned, as Mistweaver Monk, is that every CD you have should be traded with your enemy team. Meaning that you will never go and drop a random revival, you will never go and drop a random cocoon, or you will never go and use a random brew, or even a random crane. You will never use that. Because the fact that you pop cocoon before the enemy uses a CD makes his momentum even harder than you think it is. Let's see. Imagine that you have in choose a Boomkin. So you know that a Boomkin, his main CD is Incarnation, which is a very big CD that makes blah blah big damage, whatever, god mode. Please nerf, yes please. So you're gonna be using your revival there. When you see that, let's say, he has everybody dotted and we are like at 50% HP or whatever, you fucking drop it, pop it, the panic button, and there we go. You get rid of a lot of damage from him. Not at all, but a lot of them. And also a Boomkin, for instance, has the root beam, and root beam is highly countered by your crane, because crane gets rid from roots, slows, or whatever. So you pop it, you go and you force his face. For instance, imagine that you face Shadow Priest. Well, you can trade his silence with your crane. Not every silence if he does it on CD, but most of them. You can go and crane the silence. For instance, let's imagine that you face a rogue. Assassination Rogue. Well, you have Vendetta and you have Cocoon. So if you are not running this talent and you, for instance, go with other one, your Cocoon has 140 seconds and his Vendetta has 130. So maybe if you think that he's not gonna use it on City and he's gonna delay it a bit, you can risk it and go with other talent, because you know that his burst window is every 90 seconds. So it's up to you and about your teammates and everything to trade CDs and delay it or whatever. So it's all about imagination and being as smart as you can in CD trading. I know I should have talked about this before, but the reason behind I talk about it now is because the build of the month don't vary so much, and it's fairly the same. You will run Crane in at least 99% of the arenas. You will run Ring of Peace in at least every arena. You will run this in every arena. And you will run this every arena. So the composition of the game style is not variant from one to other. But I'm gonna go in depth right now. In the first row, you don't want PvE bullshit. Sorry, but that's what it is. And you wanna increase your percent healing of your Evolving Mist. That's why you choose this talent. And also it durates 1 second more, so it's really good. Then in the mobility talent, you can choose between torpedo or sprint. I recommend you to go always torpedo, because when you go in with Crane and you torpedo, you have a speed boost, so you can connect to every target fairly easily. And Tiger's Last, yeah, it's really good, but you know, you can struggle when you use it. And also when you use it, after that you are vulnerable to switches because you don't have that mobility with torpedo. And well, I would not recommend it so much, even though it's really viable against frost mages and other kind of classes. In the mana row, I recommend you 100% going Mana Tea, because this is with BfA. BfA is bullshit, and well, you want to get this for Crane, so you save that 12.5% mana, sorry. And well, on the CC row, you wanna have almost all the time Ring of Peace, unless you go with Tryhard and go with Song of Tiji, which is like a cloud that travels really slow, so you really need to use it on mid range, and shares FRDR and sleeps for 6-7 seconds, whatever, or short stun. I recommend you to go with Ring of Peace, unless you feel that it will be useless, such as against double caster and where you don't push or something, where you wanna just go and maybe CC the healer, maybe go and have better stuns, whatever. But yeah, I recommend you to go with Ring of Peace if you don't know what to go. It's the safest choice. Then in the healing defensive row, I highly recommend you to go with Healing Tea, because even though these two seem very strong, they can't compete with your combo of Brew Tea and these two stacks. It's like 45% of your life without the increased heal, with two heals that don't have global, so it's really good. And well, in the extra kit of healing, I recommend you to get that statue, because it heals a lot with your mist, and it can be healing while you are CC'd and everything. So it's a really good option when you are getting bursted, because it will be healing. So it's not really bad if they burst you and you're pre-hot. Really good. And then in the last row, I recommend you to go with Thunder Focus, because these two don't look pretty strong, and this also bursts your Crane, so it's really good. Talking about PvP talents, I always go with Crane, and almost always go with Surge of Mists. The only talent you can be replacing is Short Cocoon for counter magic, And imagine that you really want counter magic and you really want grain. Well, you can replace it for this one, so you can, you know, cast BfA, which is more like RBG-ish. But if you want to get these two, I don't know, man. I'll take I don't know, this if they purge, or yeah, some kind of free cast. This is like a weird build that you will run against Shadow Priest, let's say Shadow Priest and something that makes slow damage. I don't know. I highly recommend you to go with this as much, or with this, or let's say with this, or in case that you know that they're gonna go on you and you're gonna juke them all, with this. But this is mostly a must in every situation. Forgot to mention that when it comes to the trinket, I'd recommend you 99% of the times go with trinket, unless you know that you are in a choose game where the enemy team will burst you down every certain time and you want to rotate your trinket as an extra CT and you can predict their goals really well and your DPS can peel you very well and everything whatever you want. Now that we talked about almost everything, the only thing that's left is traits and stats. We're gonna talk about traits right now. So the traits that you wanna be running are there are two kind of traits in Mistweaver Monk. You have one which is, let's say, less important but still important, which is the talent that when you use your Evolving Mist, every hit that they do to the target affected by the Evolving Mist, let's say, kind of absorbs this amount of damage per hit, which is like with a hidden cooldown of 1 second actually. And you're gonna go with this one. This one is the best talent. You gotta have the best trait, and it's important that you only have one of these in your gear. The PvP chest luckily has it, so you wanna be running this. And it reduces the cooldown of your cocoon, and it also makes it burst healing after it fades. Gotta point that the extra healing that it provides, it's affected by the extra healing provided by the Evolving Mist. So if you Evolve Mist a cocoon that is about to expire, it will heal 25.200 points per 40% extras. So that's really good, and that makes you having this short CT of cocoon, which can be, you know, it's like an aero park of a druid. Then you wanna go with these two talents, with these two, but also you can go with Battlefield Focus if you feel so comfy, or you can go with talent that I don't know if I have, which is that when you heal with your hot, now I have it. When you heal with your hot, sometimes you gain haste, and well, I'd recommend this for more like RBG situations. So yeah, let's say that these two traits are the ones that you wanna be going with, and if you're gonna have a third one, you should go with Battlefield Focus or that haste one, nothing else. When it comes to stats, you gotta go with well, a lot of monks go with Versa crit, Versa whatever, but you see that they always go with Versa. The reason behind this is because, as you may notice, you are squishy as hell, and you wanna be as tank as much when you can't heal. That's why you wanna be stacking as much Versa as you can, knowing that I heard, I guess, that when you arrive to 12% Versa, there is a soft cap, and Versa is not worth it. But well, my gear is where it is because of PPE, so well, I have a lot of Versa. And the second stat you wanna be going with is Mastery, because Mastery is really good on burst healing, and that's the thing that you wanna be doing. And just as well because crit is really good, but most of the times you will be overhealing, so you don't really mind about crits. And it's the same about haste. Haste is a secondary stat and more PvE orientated, let's say, because of the timing of the hots and stuff. So yeah, the only ones that remains are Versa and Mastery. And yeah, that's the thing that you wanna know. When it comes to enchants, well, the state. I like to go with full Versa gems, because I'm retard, I guess, and I like to stack Versa at all. But yeah, like, I recommend you to go with full Versa gems, and if you can replace some piece of your gear to other stuff, just go for it. But always prioritize Versa or mastering. And when it comes to enchant, the same, full Versa. And when it comes to the weapon enchant, you really wanna have your versatile navigation. Not because of the Versa, it's because of the 10% extra healing or damage it provides when it procs with 5 stacks. And if you can use your crane with that buff and with your used trinket that I'm gonna talk about right now, you will be doing a lot of damage in crane. I mean, a lot of damage. And when it comes to the trinkets, well, I said that you gotta go with the health trinket to stack it up with your blue. And well, as you see like seconds ago, you wanna go with this trinket, the intellect that gives you Versa on use for 20 seconds with your crane. Both of them in macro, and you're good. So this guide should cover the medium gameplay from BfA Monks, but I know I am still missing something, such as proper positioning, how to set up your teleports in every arena, and other small things that I need to cover in the future. But I don't want to stake me anymore in this one. I guess it's been a quite long video, and I don't want to take that much time from you guys. So well, I'm gonna finish it off here, and in the future I'm gonna upload a new one talking about those things that I said. If you like the video, I repeat, share it with your friends, like the button if there is a button, and well, if you have any doubt further after this video, you can contact me through in-game. I play in Dulmor, Spanish server, and also you can talk me in Twitch by private while I'm streaming, whatever, man. I will be up for any suggesting and whatever you have to say me. So this is it, and thanks for watching.